Good morning, everybody. Joe Chacho here. Happy Friday. Today, I just want to talk about some plain old just common sense stuff that we need to start doing. And I hear agents, new agents, old agents, and what ends up happening, we get ourselves stuck in a rut, and we feel that it's not going to get better, so why change it? Now, if you're having a bad day, you're having a bad week, you got to kind of take a step back and analyze what's going on with you personally. You almost got to have one of those heart-to-heart talks with yourself. That is, my attitude, am I having commission breath, am I rushing too much? And what I see a lot of agents doing is that they're just making plain old mistakes. We have to use common sense. Let's say you're going to an appointment, you're on the interstate going 75 miles an hour, you're running late, you go over the hump, and the next exit is not for you. Your exit is 2 more down. You're going, you're kicking, you're going a little bit, and then you come over the hump and you see all the traffic's backed up. Common sense says, let me get off from that exit to where I keep moving instead of getting into traffic and I'm even later. Common sense. Little things like that there, agents just don't use because the mere fact is they're on that autopilot, they're going straight, they can't deviate, they can't move. Is good when you're making a presentation, but you always got to have some leeway. Now, here's the situation I've run across lately. Joe, I wrote a client with whatever carrier, and they were denied because they were overweight. Okay. Joe, Royal Neighbors doesn't have a height weight chart. What product did you write? Well, I wrote their Jet Term. Simplified issue underwriting is totally different than a universal life, a whole life, a jet term, a simplified term, a term. They're different. Simplified issue, whole life, what we do on a regular basis, mainly for final expense, is priced for people who have medical issues, heart attack, stroke, cancer, diabetes. When you get into a different arena of life insurance, you get into the term product or whole lives, their underwriting's a little bit tougher. They look back further, they ask more questions. So you need to go and look at your agent guide. Every carrier has one. Do not rush. Agent called a couple days ago and said, what do I do? I said, well, what do you do? You need to learn and you need to be more prepared. Another agent called up and said the client was declined due to their driving record. Driving record. Term policies have driving history on there. They want to know about DUIs, reckless driving. They want to know that. Some of our simplified issue have it, some of them don't. So what you need to do to be more efficient in what you do, you need to take a step back and review your application. Joe, I'm just so busy, I don't have time to do that. And to call the carrier, they put me on hold. So, I'm just going to try to do it. Well, you're wasting your time. You actually are only fooling yourself. You're actually wasting your time. And what you're doing is that when you submit an application to a carrier and it's denied, what the carrier is going to do, they're going to say, listen, we appreciate you. We think you're a great person, yet you're not fit to represent our company because you're costing us money. And what they're going to do is that they're going to terminate you for quality of business. Your actual submissions are not doing well. So you need to take a step back and you need to take the proper avenue to where you pick the right carrier for your client. Now, in the back office, I have a sheet here, okay, that everybody has access to. It's got final expense on it, and it's called the Carrier Shortcuts, okay? And what it is that if you have a client that's talking too much, you got a client that does not stop talking, he just talk, just like you're talking to Heather on the phone. She's just talking. What carriers do a paper app? Transamerica does a paper app. Mutual Omaha does a paper app. Some carriers do strictly a paper application. America Ultra Protector, paper app. Because what's going to happen, you're going to call me and you're going to say, Joe, I got the client on the phone. There was nothing wrong with him. Yet he started bringing up this, and this. He had a heart attack 3 years ago. Question is 2 years ago. He had cancer 5 years ago. Question was 4 years ago. So you need to sit and use common sense. If the guy's talking, well, Joe, I can put on that company there, it's $2 a month cheaper. Or Joe, I'm making a nickel more commission. I want you guys to take one soft step backwards, and let's look at this here from a different point of view. The clients do not know what your costs are. The client does not know the underwriting they've got to go through. You are the one going over the program with them. You're the one who will tell them, this is the best program, bless you. This is the best program. This is the best pricing we have. I know you're on a budget, because they trust you. You get one chance to make a first impression. This is why I believe you got to dress to impress. You got to look the part as a professional. You must speak like a professional, so when you're in the home with somebody, when you decide to make a shortcut, you're doing it what's best for the client, because the ultimate goal is to get them coverage because they want it, need it, and it's something that they want to provide to their family. And for you, you want it, need it, and also to provide income for your family. So if you use this sheet here, it's going to guide you and help you what carrier to pick to get your client approved. Shortcuts are good when it comes to certain things. Deviating from the program, sidestepping, going too quick, not thinking, not wanting to call the carrier. Once you go over with a client, I'm going to put you with Company A. Company A's price is going to be $39.95, whatever the price is. And they get denied. You've saved no time. You've actually wasted your time. So if you sit back and you think, if I spend an extra 2, 3, 5 minutes investigating, calling the carrier up, calling me up, calling your manager up, what you're going to end up doing is that you're going to look a whole lot better. You're going to probably make more sales. You're going to have less denials, or from immediate to graded and modified. And what you're going to do is you're going to share with them a fair price. Because what ends up happening, we all want to go fast. I want to write this carrier because it's paperless. This one I want to write. Yet we don't want to look at the application. Or we don't want to dig into the client's health. Agent called me a couple days ago, new agent, been in the business for a long time, yet hasn't done much final expense. So we start talking. He said, Joe, I put this lady, height, weight is great, age is perfect, all that stuff there. She says she's only on a blood pressure, she's on a statin pill, and she's an oral diabetic. And she got declined at a carrier. I said, okay. I said, well, there's got to be something in the application that you didn't say. There's got to maybe be a medication that she didn't tell you she was using. So I said, well, what? He said, no, Joe, those are the medications she's on. She told me. I said, okay. I said, can we get her on the phone? No, he asked me. I said, sure, get on the phone. So we got on the phone yesterday. Agent wants to make a sale. The client wants to buy. Yet the agent is brand new in the business. So I tell brand new agents, call me, I'm going to help you out. Yet if I'm not available, you got to start calling the carriers up. I got this, this, and this. Yet if you don't know exactly what the client has wrong with them, or the medication they've been prescribed that they've had filled and they no longer take, the carrier doesn't know that. So the only way a carrier can give you an underwriting answer, you've got to give them all the information. So in your mind, starting today, when you're sitting with a client talking with them, you're going to sit and tell them, Ms. Jones, what we're going to do today is I'm a field underwriter. And what we're going to visualize is that is you and I sitting here, and your doctor's over here, and you and him are going to tell me everything about you, so I can make sure I put you with the best company. You know, that sounds kind of silly. There ain't no doctor there. I know there's no doctor there. You want that client to draw you a picture, so in the event you need to call an underwriter, you've got all the information. Here's the long and short what happened. Got the lady on the phone. She told me she was on a high blood pressure. She was on a cholesterol medication. She was on metformin. I said, okay. I said, ma'am, were there any other drugs that the doctor prescribed to you, okay, that you are no longer taking, or he took you off that medication? She goes, well, yes, there is. I said, okay. I said, what medication is that? She says, hold on a minute, let me get the bottle. She gets up, gets the bottle, comes back, gabapentin. When you talk about gabapentin and diabetes together, carriers are going to sit and say, we don't want you. Royal Neighbors says, hey, we'll take you, no problem. Royal Neighbors says, I want you. Every carrier that we deal with has their own underwriting guidelines, their own ways of doing things. This is why you need to make notes. So when you go to a client's house and they've got this, and this, write it down in your brain, keep track. So when you hear certain things, you know what carrier to gravitate towards. Now, if they're just on gabapentin and they're not a diabetic, almost every carrier will take you. Yet when you combine those together, carriers are a little bit stricter because they feel there's an ailment and can cost them money down the road. Now, this sheet here also tells you what carrier does credit cards and direct express. This morning, an agent called me and said, Joe, I've got an issue. I am upset with Royal Neighbors. I am totally mad with Royal Neighbors. I said, what's going on? He says, I went through the entire process with the client last night on the phone, did everything with them, they're in perfect health. As I'm going through the application on the phone, I tell the client, give me your banking information. And the client gives them a debit card. He's mad at Royal Neighbors because Royal Neighbors doesn't accept a debit card. I'm on the phone with him, and I want to put my hand through the phone line and choke him and say, we've got all this stuff written down for you. So what he's done, he told the client about the free will, the disaster fund, the discount prescription cards they got. He built this company up as if it was all that in a bag of chips, as it is. Yet, the agent did not gather all the information before he got on the call. When you get on a phone call and you do a point of sale with a carrier that's going to give you an instant decision at that time, your job in your mind is to have that application totally completed as if you're going to walk out of the house. What do I mean by that there? The questions are answered, Social Security, you check their identification with their driver's license, you got their beneficiaries, date of birth, whatever's needed, and you have their banking information. You don't wait till you're on the call and ask the client, what's your banking information? Because now if the client says, I don't want to give it to you, you wasted your time. Do not make shortcuts. If you sit back and you think hard about it, and you sit and think about the time we've all wasted, starting with me. When I started out, I made boo-boos, I made mistakes, I still make mistakes. Yet what I pride myself on, and I want you guys to pride yourself on, is making less mistakes every day. If you know a carrier has a height-weight chart, check it. If the client is kind of iffy and you're not sure, check it. If you look at somebody and the lady is 5'1" or the guy is 5'2", and you see very evidently that they're way overweight, go to either Royal Neighbors or Transamerica, simplified issue, because of their height weight. Don't sit and say, well, I'm sometimes embarrassed to ask a client how much they weigh. Especially a woman. Women don't want to tell you what they weigh. You get a woman 5'1" and she weighs a lot. I don't want to embarrass her and tell her, how much do you weigh? Now, granted, I thought they weighed more and they weigh a little bit less. So you got to go with how you're feeling, the rapport you have with the client. What I do, I just alleviate the question. I'm going to go to Royal Neighbors of Transamerica. Now, when you're speaking with a client, and the client tells you, Joe, I want a term product. I want a $250,000 term product for whatever reason. You ask them all the health questions, okay? And they're insulin diabetic and they're overweight. They can't have it, okay? There may be a one carrier out there that I don't know off the top of my head that will table rate or maybe a table 8 or table 10, yet what the client wants, he cannot always have, okay? And that's probably the hardest thing for us to tell a client. I'm sorry, Ms. Jones, you know what I'm saying, based on your medication, I don't say anything about the weight. I don't want to embarrass nobody. We all got weight. I'm a little overweight. Based on your medication, based on your health history, a term product at this moment is not, it will not, they won't accept you. I kind of stuttered there for a second, okay? Say the only thing that's available for you today is a whole life program that I have for you. And what I can do is that next month, in a couple of months, if something new comes out, I'm gonna put you on my radar, and I'm gonna check for you and get back with you. Okay? Now, when you got a client that's 25, 26, 27, and they're a little bit overweight for a term product, you got to go through your carriers and look through the height weight charts to see which one will accept them. Okay? I'm asking you guys, don't make shortcuts. Take shortcuts only to decide what's best for the client. Do I do a phone interview? Do I do a point of sale? Do I do an e-app? What is the best thing for me to do for my client? Now, I was told a long time ago it's a three-legged stool. Got to be good for the client, got to be good for the carrier, and it's got to be good for you. It's got to be good for us. Because we're the ones out there hustling. And the only advice that I can give you, share with you, project to you guys is to learn your carriers, learn the underwriting, have the stuff with you, okay? Your agent guide, your agent manual that we have, print it out. The carrier placement guide, how the client's health is compared to what company they go with, print it out. Don't just get and start throwing stuff against the wall. You're probably going to hit a couple home runs. It will happen. Yet overall, you're going to lose out on some deals because you're trying to rush. You want to not look this stuff up because you don't want to look like you don't know what you're doing. I feel that when you tell a client, give me a couple seconds to investigate, give me a couple seconds to check out all my carriers to make sure I'm going to get you the best program, get you the best deal, get you the cheapest price, get you the less expensive program. What they're going to do is go, damn, this guy's actually working hard for me. Or she's really conscientious, honey, she's doing a great job for me. People want to be treated special, guys. There's other agents that come and go in and out, bam, 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 never see them again. I want all of us to be different. I want them to say, we take pride in what we do, we smile, we take our time, we're going to get you the best program, we're going to make you feel special, we've got compassion. These are the things that people want to feel, because people can do business with anybody they want. You guys go out to have dinner tonight, waitress doesn't treat you well, there's a possibility you won't go back to the restaurant. In the restaurant, food could have been good, prices could have been good, the front door person could have been good, yet that waitress or that waiter could have just messed your evening up. So what you do, not all the time, you cop an attitude with her or him, and now the restaurant suffers. The thing with us is that it's only us. You know, we're the doggone front door host with the cashier, we're the hostess, we're the waiter, we're the dishwasher, we're the bookkeeper, we make the bank, we do everything. So you got to put on different hats throughout your presentation, so when you're visiting with the person, they feel connected with you at every single point of that presentation. The transitions must be smooth. Your presentation must have knowledge. You must speak with confidence. And you've got to come across as a professional. So when you compile all these together, check out where your client can go to. Don't deviate and take your time. I promise you, you will make more sales. Okay, look at my notes real quick. Okay, that's it. Okay, guys, make it a great day. Appreciate your hard work. My friend Jimmy, the postman, just walked in again. Everybody have a great day. Make it a great weekend. We'll see you Monday on the call. Bye-bye, guys.